Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another video from the Joe America community and or podcast episode, however way you want to call it. This is Scott Bradley coming to you. And today we have a really special guest today. We're going to be interviewing a gentleman who is actually part of our Joe America community. His name is John Dillon, and he's located in the amazing state of Tennessee. And in the last month or so, he actually connected with me and said that he's actually running for a specific office in the state of Tennessee. And in talking with him, Rob and I, Joe America and I, thought that it would be a great time to be able to interview him, allow him to share who he is, what he's about, why he's running, and the kind of impact that he's looking to make in the future if he, in fact, gets elected in November. So as I mentioned, John Dillon here is a Joe America community member. We've been in touch. We've spoken on the phone. He is running for the county commissioner in Williamson County, Tennessee, which is known as District 12. So, John, I want to welcome you to today's interview.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. First off, it was a pleasure to be here and to just say hi to everybody in the Joe America community. We've all been mostly behind those emails, but nobody's been at least been really able to see on video and whatnot. So it's kind of cool.
Absolutely. No, it's always really great to be able to connect with people in the community like yourself and many others that we've spoken with over the last year, a little over a year now. So it's very exciting that we're at this point. And first off, I'm sure people that are watching are probably asking the question, who is John Dillon, who's running for this office in this specific district? So we'll start there.
Right. And first, I did want to mention the election days are not in November. They're actually, the primary is May 3rd and the general election is August 4th. So
okay. Totally my fault.
No, everybody assumes November, but everybody is always thinking big elections, big government, November this, November that. It's always been November. But a lot of people don't realize is what really affects them the most is the local government. And that's kind of why I'm running too, is, to help with that change. And people are blindsided by local government. They think the big government's controlling them and dictating everything throughout their lives. And it really isn't everything that changes their lives on the big government side. Most of it, probably about 80% of it, is controlled by the local government side. I hate to use the word control, but that's what it is. They make those changes, those decisions for the people, and it's mostly on the local government side. People don't even realize that. They just think, oh, county council this, or commissioner this, or alderman this, or whatever. No, big government supersedes all that. They don't care. They don't matter. What's not correct. A lot of what the big government says is that the local government controls certain things on the local side with the people. So they have to say, and that's what our founding fathers put into our system, is the separation of power. So one big person doesn't control everything. And that's kind of, where we are today, that it's slowly disappearing, but a lot of people are trying to change it, like myself.
Absolutely. So let's bring it back to who are you? You're obviously you're an American citizen. You love this country. What other things do you want people to know about you that are in your specific district and that you're going to be on the ballot to potentially vote for?
No, absolutely. I was a firefighter in Washington, D.C. for 20 years. So that's mostly what I've done my whole life. I started a business about 10 years ago, and it's just gotten crazy. I never thought I would be a business owner in my life. And in conjunction with just loving everything that our country is about, the values, the history, being the leader of the free world. And then I come here to Williamson County, Tennessee, and I see that there are some mismanagement issues or some things going on that I've tried to address, and it just doesn't seem to want to budge. And it tells me that the mindset is the people that are currently there don't care. They've got elected. They don't care who says what, because they're in charge. They are doing what they want to do. And everybody else that's saying this, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, that's fine. And so that's why I wanted to be that change, is be that voice of the people and work for the people, and then change it back from, where those politicians are thinking they work for us. No, it's we work for them.
Understand. So at this moment right now, even though you are running for this office, when you said the primary was what date again? May 3rd?
May 3rd, yeah.
May 3rd. So you're running a business. I believe you said you have multiple businesses. Is that correct?
Correct.
So you have multiple businesses in the area, some national, some local, correct?
Correct.
And you're a citizen of Williamson County, Tennessee. Any other details about you as who you are as John Dillon that you'd like to share before we kind of move on to the next question?
I got two little girls that are going to be affected by my decision in the future if I do get elected. So I know that whatever decisions I make are going to affect them in the future. So I have to constantly keep on my mind that everything that I vote on and decide on if elected is going to affect them. So I can't just listen to everybody that doesn't live in the county, like big businesses, big corporations, investors, or whatnot, which is a lot of what's happening right now.
Gotcha. So as we move into the next kind of phase of what I want to know from you is like, you were mentioning it briefly in the beginning about what it is that's inspiring you to want to run. So let's kind of flesh that out a little bit more. I mean, do you remember the exact moment when you said, okay, enough is enough. I'm going to go and pursue this. This is what I'm going to do. I want to understand kind of that whole picture at that time for you of like, why is John Dillon doing this for the people of the county?
Well, so when I saw a lot of things down here, most of what I saw is directly related to what I used to do, and that was being a firefighter, serving my community, helping the public in their most, perilous type of time in their lives when they don't know who else to call except for complete strangers that are wearing these suits and this helmet and this mask and this badge or whatever. And when I was in the fire department in DC, I was trained in a certain way to do things a certain way. We took it with very high respect, integrity, and we took it as upon ourselves to say, okay, when this bell goes off to go to this call, we do exactly what we're told on the assignment. And then when I came down here, I got my feet wet a little bit with this system down here, and it's nothing like that. It's taken as a joke. Imagine yourself in high school. Let's bang the student's head against the side of the locker, or let's flush a M12 bomb down the toilet and blow the pipes up in the basement or something crazy. Well, that's what they do at the fire department here. And it's unbelievable. They don't take anything seriously, but they seem to forget that what they are there to do is to help somebody in an emergent situation. And I've seen a lot of things, to not get into too much detail, that say that they're not taking it seriously. And it's resulted in a lot of very dangerous situations that have actually killed people in the county as a direct result of their negligence. I'm not going to say what it is, but it's not professional. And I brought that up to the county commission, not to show them what exactly happened, but tried and direct them in a positive manner. And they just kind of looked over. Oh, okay, we're done with that. We don't need to worry about that. So I was like, okay. And then another neighbor in my neighborhood, they're retired. They had a little incident with the county commission. They were trying to build a deck, and they said, well, we can't build, you got to tear it down. And I was trying to learn a little bit more about that. And it was because there was a slight sight of view behind their property. And the ordinance said that if you were to stand on the house line behind the houses, you have to see completely past everything down the line. Well, there's a hill there anyway. It's a natural occurrence that blocked the view, but they were saying it was their deck that wasn't even in that sight of light of sign or whatever. So they brought it up to the commission. They fought it, and the commission was still standing their ground. They didn't care. They thought, oh, this is just some whatever person over there just trying to say this. We don't care. We're already elected. We make the decision. So it was hard for them. So I sat down and thought to myself, okay, well, they're not giving a crap about the people. I'm going to. Enough is enough. Like you said, I put my foot down and I said, I'm running.
I'm going to do this.
What I was doing. I didn't know what I was doing. I'll kind of give you a quick story. Back when I was a little younger, my mom said to me, John, you're going to be a lawyer or a politician. I said, Mom, you're getting senile. We need to take you to a nursing home. We need to sign a little power of attorney. Let's do that. So now she's trying to tell me to do that. She needs me to sign a power of attorney because I'm getting senile apparently. But we'll see. We'll see where this goes.
Wow. Well, see, I think that when I hear that story, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your butt, it's like it's very honorable of you, the fact that you see how just in these two little instances where the way the local government was treating just the two situations that you brought, and that really inspired you to say, okay, I'm going to do something about it. I have successful businesses. I'm a busy man. I'm a person that loves America. I'm a person that loves freedom. I love what this country stands for. And you know what? I think I'm feeling driven and pulled into making this difference and actually doing my very best to become elected so that I can then not treat the individuals of this district in the way that they're being treated right now. And it reminds me a lot of, there is a book, I'm blanking on the name, the author, I think it's Simon Sinek, where it says start with why. And I think that if you can get enough people as somebody that's running for a political office to not only understand what you stand for and the change that you want to make, but furthermore, understand why you're taking that action, I think that's what's so powerful about people that are courageous enough, just like yourself, to say, okay, I've never done this before. I don't know what I'm doing. I know who to go to figure it out, but this is the catalyst for why I'm pursuing what I'm pursuing here, because of the difference that I don't only want to make in my community with my businesses and everything that I do, but furthermore, how I want to make an impact for those in the community to make it better for them. And so to flush that out a little bit more, help everybody that's watching understand, what does the county commissioner do in the district itself? Just for those that have no idea what that is.
Sure. And I also think the book you're talking about is Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek.
Okay, well, Simon Sinek, I know he may have done the one Start With Why, but I'm just like, I'm blanking that, is that the one or it's not? But, you know, we're readers, so we get it.
County commissioners, in my county alone, there are 24 commissioners, so there's 2 for each district.
Okay.
And they vote on various things throughout the year, like budget, committee approvals, development of properties and lands and new developments, whether it's commercial or residential. They vote on things as far as approvals for fire departments, for new equipment, new stations, new development planning. Same thing with like the jails, the police department, public health systems, recycling, so on and so forth. I mean, I could go down the list of everything I want to change, and it's going to take a long time. But at the end of the day, it's everything the commissioners do. They have to vote on these things that affect the people. A lot of it has to do with the money, and that leads me to another reason why I'm wanting to run this county, which is the richest county in Tennessee, is actually almost $1 billion in debt.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that.
And that's public knowledge.
It's hard to find.
That's not like some secret thing that you shouldn't be saying. But if you dig deep enough, you can see.
It's hard to find, but it is public out there. People would have to dig to find it if they know what they're looking for. But yes, it's public. They hide it pretty well.
Got it. And so you want to run. You're inspired to run, given the experience you've had. You really want to make an impact. And out of all the type of offices that you could run on inside of this district, why the county commissioner? Why not a local mayor? Or what was it about the commissioner's position that said, no, this is the way I want to pursue this first?
Well, I'm only eligible to either run as the county mayor or the county commissioner. Everything else, I don't live in the city, so I'm not eligible to run as an alderman. I haven't lived here for at least 7 years, so I can't run as a state senator or representative or governor for the whole state. So I've only been here for 2 years. I'm doing what I can now, so I feel like I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to help the people, be the voice of the community. I need to start now. I can't wait while things continue to get trashed down the road and get destroyed to the point of no return.
I understand. And I think many people here in the Joe America community listening and watching to this can understand that, just in the bigger context of the federal government and everything that's going on in this country right now. We're not going to go into making that a discussion about what's going on in this, because we're really focused on you. But that could probably be another episode down the road, depending on how we want to do it. So out of the gate, I know we've kind of touched on this, but I want you to really focus in on answering this question. I mean, when you think about assuming you would get elected in the primary and then it goes to the general and all of the finalization, and John Dillon is the county commissioner of District 12, Williamson County, Tennessee, what impact are you looking forward to making, at least in your first term as the county commissioner? What are some of the immediate things that you believe are going to truly help those in that community that you'll be able to really move the needle on?
Well, Scott, that's a big picture. And what it has turned into, from what I've talked to a lot of people, is they don't feel like a community anymore. And I want them to feel like more of a community in the first year. I want them to feel like this is a place they can call home. This is a place they can trust that their values are being coordinated and run up the line where their values are being translated into the government, whether it's the school system and funding, because right now they're dealing with CRT and with wisdom, which is, we all know what that is.
Yeah, we don't need to go there.
But
That's a whole nother video. But we
budget
can keep going.
mismanagement, public service mismanagement. There's growing developments all over the county that are being done out of control. They're not being done correctly. That's another thing that is going to take a long time to talk about. Just to give you a big picture, when you feel like a community is everybody as a whole feeling like they have a voice with how things are happening in their community, whether it's development, whether it's their school system for the kids growing and learning, their safety with their fire departments and their police, or whatever it might be, or the environment. Right now, we don't recycle, so we have a huge landfill that's getting out of control. We have to fix that as well. So there's a lot of moving parts and a lot that's going to have to go on that's going to get thrown at me and everybody else in the commission. So yeah, we have to feel like a community again, and we need the community's help. And being transparent with the community is big for me. I have this big platform that I'm planning to put online so everybody in my community can see what's going on, what issues are at hand, so they are aware what we're trying to achieve. So that way I can hopefully get everybody's support and understanding with what we're trying to do and how it's going to change and what it's going to result in.
So what I really hear you saying is twofold. I think number one, you want to bring integrity back to the actual district that you're in, and you want to bring back the transparency. And you see that if you bring both of those things together and also foster the growth of the relationships inside of the community in and of itself, ultimately everybody will win in that district. And it may in the future, I mean, this is just me speaking out loud. I typically do that sometimes. It may create a model for the way other commissioners could do it, and model what you've done if it becomes successful in how people respond, the impact that's made, and how things evolve. It could be like, well, John Dillon has a great model of how he's done it in this district. We may be able to take what he's done and transfer it to that district. And other people could be watching from afar going, there's some pretty interesting things going on and how John's running things with the other commissioner that he works with. So I think it's such an honorable thing. I mean, I don't know anything about running for office, and I'm sure that I would have dealt with it the very same way that you had out of the gate. Like, I don't like this. I'm in the position to be able to do this. Yes, I have businesses, but I have people in place to help manage and run things to keep them going. But I'm going to go and pursue this because I'm feeling called to go do that. So I just want to take this moment to acknowledge you. I think it's amazing that you being part of our Joe America community is unbelievably so cool that here we are interviewing somebody in our community that's pursuing an actual office. And, who knows who it may inspire to do it in their local communities. And that's just extremely exciting all the way around.
Well, I also just want to say real quick, anybody that's even pondering the idea of running for local office, you may sit there and think, if you've never done this before, oh, this is crazy, this is too hard, I don't qualify. Believe it or not, you do. And it only takes a simple Google search to figure out the state minimum requirements for the office you're trying to run for, you're thinking about running for, figure out what it takes. It doesn't cost any money. It doesn't require you to do much. You just can't be a felon for the most part. You have to live in the area you're trying to run for. And those are the most basic requirements. Every state may have some other requirements that they've adopted. Maybe you have to live there for a certain amount of time or whatever. But go find that out. Go figure it out. It's all public information. You don't have to be a lawyer, or you don't have to go to school to be a political science degree. I only have an MBA, but I got my MBA just recently. So you don't need any of that stuff. You don't need to be a political science major to do this. This is something any Joe Schmo on the side of the road. You don't even have to be employed if you don't want to be to do this. It's not a requirement.
If you have a passion for serving people, if you have a passion for serving those people,
do it. Exactly. Do it. Don't sit there. Just do it. Go figure out what you need to do. Fill out the paperwork. Go through the process. Raise some money. Get some donations. Put your name out there. Make some speeches and do it. Get elected.
I love it. I love it. Now, before we finish this up, John, I want to give people the ability, if they're located in your local district in Williamson County, or want to just reach out to you to either learn more about your campaign, what it is that you're doing, provide whatever links and things. I want to give you the opportunity to share all of that right now before we finish up. And after this video is done, I'm going to have a final screen with all of them. So if there's any between me editing this video and the very end, I'll make sure everything's there that you want. But I'll give you the opportunity right now to share where people can find you.
Well, the best place to go find me and just get a good big picture of all my values, what I'm trying to do. And there's even a contact form is the website. And it's called Drain 2022 Wilco. I know we're all big Trump fans for the most part. And who came up with that Drain the Swamp thing? Well, that's kind of where I came up with that website. So common word spelling of drain 2022 for the year, Wilco, WILCO.com. There's a contact form on there. It goes right to my email. Put your email in there. I'll be happy to get back to everybody and just answer your questions as needed.
And then on that actual website, you'll have your links to your Facebook, links to any social media stuff that you want people to have access to.
If you live in the county, there's even a link where you can register to vote. If nobody's registered to vote, believe it or not, registering to vote in voting in these local elections do make a major difference. They don't really make a big difference on the big scale, but on a local scale, it's catastrophic.
Got it. Well, listen, this is amazing, John. Like I said earlier, I just think it's amazing that somebody in our Joe America community is stepping up to the plate on the local level. And before we close out, I want to give you any last words before we shut this video and we move on. So the floor is yours for the final hurrah.
Well, like I said before, anybody that wants to run for political office, it's the easiest thing in the world. If you value your community, you value your country, don't sit there. Get up, go run, or find a friend that wants to run, or maybe one of your friends that you know of is trying to do it. Help them get there. When you support your community and that one person wants to be that representative for your community, that's how change happens. Sitting on your butt complaining about stuff doesn't change anything. And like I said before, also the website's there if you want to ask me questions. Even if you don't live here and you want to learn a little bit more about running, what it's like to run, I'm happy to get on the phone with anybody. And if anybody wants to help my campaign, there's a donate section on there too if you want to do that. I'm happy to help anybody that wants to learn how to do this. It's scary, but it's impressive and it's fun, but it's also very enjoyable at the same time because you meet so many new people and it feels good to be able to support the community as a whole.
I love it. Well, listen, John, thank you so much for taking your time today. This was really great, short, quick, to the point. I do hope that everybody in the community that watches this video is inspired by what you're doing. I hope that those that are locally close to you actually directly reach out to you. And even if they're not, they'll still reach out to you to figure out more how they can do what you're doing in their local communities. So again, John, I just want to thank you so much for your time. This was great. And I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much, Scott.
Okay. See you later.